Hey everyone, we are back for another episode, and this week I have with me Courtney Lillie. Now, you might remember her face from a few of our episodes before, but we've got some new spices and new flavors to add to this collection. So, Courtney, I'm gonna let you give yourself a brief introduction and then we're gonna talk about why we're here.
Hey everyone, I'm so happy to be back. Thank you, Maisie, for having me on once again. Um, yeah, things have shifted a little bit, and there's a lot of new, wonderful things happening over in my world that I am so excited to share with you today. The main thing is that we're moving into nervous system coaching and healing. So we were already kind of doing that with all the other stuff that we had talked about on the podcast before. Um, but this is much more focused on a specific framework for holistically healing the nervous system. So basically we look at the nervous system as not being in a vacuum. Your nervous system responds to the environment that you're in and not just like individual situations that you find yourself in that are quote unquote not good, right?
Yeah.
It responds to all types of it. So we're talking nutrition, we're talking movement, we're talking stress management, we're talking emotional processing, and we're talking consistency and accountability. Like that's the whole approach. So that's what's new here. We're working on the nervous system and making sure that you feel confident enough moving forward to find some semblance of calm amongst the chaos that is life, right? And bringing yourself into a mindset of like, you can be the calm of the chaos.
Yes, you can. And I love that you have shifted in that space of nervous system regulation because, that even on the trauma healing side, that's a lot of the work that I do with my
Yeah.
clients too. So tell me, tell me your method. What are y'all doing with your clients that's supporting them in this way?
So we still offer like a really personalized approach because everybody's different. Everybody needs different things, but it's all within the same framework. So we utilize what we call the reset framework, right? And it's an acronym. I'll go through it all, but it's basically what I already said, right? Restore your gut, embody strength, stabilize stress, ease the load, and transformation that sticks. So again, nutrition, movement, stress management, emotional processing, and accountability and consistency. That's all that means. But we go into deeper detail on each of those things because it's not just about, oh, eating clean. It's about how do you actually feed your nervous system when you're in a chronic state of stress. And fun fact, when you're chronically stressed, your body utilizes 2 to 3 times more vitamins and minerals than it does when you're not stressed. So you actually need more calories. You probably need to supplement at that point, at least for a certain period of time. And you need to eat more fruits, vegetables, those kinds of things. So we go into like the nitty gritty of that kind of stuff. Um, that's just one example, but even like ease the load, the emotional processing, very similar to you, Maisie, of like we go deep there. What's going on? What's actually going on? What have you been holding on to that's making you feel this way?
Yeah.
Is it grief? Is it anger? Is it, people pleasing or perfectionism or anything like that? What brought you to this state of chronic stress and nervous system dysregulation? Because that's the root. If we don't tackle that piece, you're never going to feel calm in the chaos. You are going to be the chaos amongst more chaos.
Right. And to even talk about that, so I've had this discussion with several different people, is even in the line of work that we do, the last thing I want is my clients to be codependent on me.
Yeah.
Hey, Mace, can you do this? Hey, Mace, can you help me with this? My biggest thing is when a client comes to work with me, like we're working on real-time regulation support. So when
Yes.
they're getting in the thick of it and everything, and they're like, oh my God, life is crazy, it's happening, and blah, 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 blah. Let me show you how to fix that in real time. And I think a lot of the preach on nervous system regulation, that's a lot of gaps. That's a lot of things that are missing right now. It's
Yeah.
buy this template, do this mantra, try this meditation. When you're in the middle of an argument or something, you can't tell somebody, hey, stop, I gotta go meditate.
Listen, part of the reason that we shifted focus in this way is because I was doing the energy healing, I was doing the meditation, I was doing all of this stuff, right? And I was noticing a theme within all of my clients. It was a band-aid. It was a band-aid in the sense of you feel really great in the moment, and maybe even for a few hours to a couple of days afterwards. And then what? And then what? You come back to your life and you still feel stressed. So
Yeah.
it's not that creating moments of calm are bad. What's happening though is we're creating these moments of calm and not addressing the issue of what's causing the stress, which is usually how you're reacting to everything around you,
Hmm.
right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, but when we actually go to that root cause, all of a sudden you can start utilizing meditation, breath work, energy healing, all of that stuff, and feel long-term effects and start utilizing it for maintenance rather than experiencing small moments of calm within your day.
Yeah. And I think that's the biggest key thing is, well, even like you're saying, yes, we're getting to longer periods, but when I do pattern decoding with my clients.
Mhm.
So when we're decoding symptoms equal stories, symptoms
Yeah,
equal signals, they're cueing
your
us in
messages.
so many different things that are saying, I'm asking for this. I need intimacy. I need connection. I need support. Nobody's listening to me. Nobody's hearing me. Nobody is showing me that I'm valuable. And yes, it gets us into the space of where we're looking for this external validation. It's a moment to also go within.
Mhm.
Validate yourself first, and other people will validate you. Because if you think about it, like I tell my moms all the time whenever I'm working with them, if you constantly say that you're busy, guess what other people are going to say about you? You're too busy.
Mhm.
You're too busy.
Yeah.
No, 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 don't call her. She's too busy. I'm just too busy. And you can feel that. You can feel that pull and that energy shift.
Yeah. And then what happens? You don't get the support that you need because you're too busy for it.
Too busy.
Literally, my life for a while. My grandmother still won't call me because she thinks that I'm too busy because I was too busy at the time that this
Mm,
started happening because I couldn't deal with another thing to do and I didn't want to be on the phone with her for a certain amount of time because I was so caught up in all the other things.
yeah.
Like it's yes, all of it, just yes.
So, what are some of the symptoms that you guys see come through your clinic?
So, oh gosh, there's so many, but I think a couple of the most common ones, digestion issues,
Yeah.
um, is a huge one. Like IBS symptoms. We, I'm gonna go off on a side tangent here and kind of just tell you a little bit about this. 'Cause I've been diagnosed with IBS. Uh, like 6 or 7 years ago, I was diagnosed with IBS caused by hormones, whatever the hell that means. What I know now is that it's caused by stress. It is
Hmm.
a catch-all terminology that when doctors don't know what's happening, but you're having digestive issues, they just throw you into the dump of IBS symptoms. And underlying all of those IBS symptoms are stress, your nervous system.
Trauma patterns.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right. So that's a big one that we deal with a lot. And another big one is um, weight loss is another one. Like I want to lose the last 10 pounds and I just can't seem to, right? And part of it is like, okay, we need to talk about homeostasis. Is your body cool with where it's at? Or is it holding on to something, right? Because the weight loss that we talk about in our work is not moving and food. It's actually more about emotional processing.
Right.
It's more about like, well, what are you holding on to? Like, what's going on in your life right now? What's causing the stress? Where are you at? What patterns did you learn from childhood in regards to how you think about food, how you think about exercise? Were you allowed to express yourself? All of those things, when we're talking about weight, can be a physical weight. And when we actually let go of those things, we can lose that weight, right? So it's kind of a push-pull with that, um, of like, is it just that you're not happy with your body, but your body is happy where it's at? Or is it holding on to something because it's trying to protect you from something that
Yeah.
you either still need protection from or you no longer do, but you don't know how to release it?
Yeah. And I think that's a big key thing is the patterns we get stuck in
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
they keep replaying. And I think that's where so many of my clients come to me and they're like, I know what to do. I just don't know why I'm not doing it.
Yeah.
I can't figure it out. It's
Yep.
like I get started and then I stop. And
Mhm.
it's not a consistency for a few days and then like a hard quit. It's like I give up on myself in those moments.
Yeah.
How do we get out of that pattern? And that's
Right.
a lot of it underneath is what are the patterns? What is your body really trying to tell you?
Yeah. And in that case too, I we see this a lot here too. It all kind of comes down to worth, right? Do you feel worthy in the body that you're in?
Yeah.
Do you feel like you deserve to be small in the sense of like caged in or like pushed aside, pushed back, kept in a small little box, right? Like, are you keeping yourself small because that's comfortable and you're
Yeah.
not ready to expand into what, you know, you need to do in order to get to where you want to be?
Yeah.
So, yeah. The other big one too that we see here is sleep issues.
Okay.
Sleep issues are really big. Like either not being able to fall asleep or not being able to stay asleep. We've had a lot of clients, like it's so weird. It kind of happens in a collective way where we'll get several clients coming in and they're like, yeah, like I've been waking up at like 2:30 a.m. I don't know, the last week. And we're like, oh wow, we've too, like come around the same time. That's so weird. So it's so funny how like the collective stress kind of comes into play here.
Yeah.
But even like, you know, with the consistency piece, you've got to have a consistent bedtime routine. You've got to have a consistent wake up routine, and you have to be in bed pretty consistently each night around the same time. Wake up pretty consistently each morning around the same time. Like we're not telling you that this is going to be easy. In fact, one of the first things that I talk about with clients is like, no. It ain't easy, and I'm not going to BS you through that. I'm
Yeah.
going to sit here and tell you, I'm going to cure you. I'm actually going to sit here and tell you it's not on me. I'm just here as a guide. I will guide you through this so you didn't have to go through what I did.
Yeah.
The 10 plus years of cycles of burnout and stress and like messages from my body being like, girl, slow down. And me being like, hell no, I'm gonna push through. Like, I'm just
Yeah.
gonna keep going because that's how I feel my worth is when I'm productive.
Yeah.
So it's, and even back then, I was like, I was sleeping not well at all. I'd
Yeah.
go to bed late, wake up early. It's a
I
cycle
think,
and they all play in together.
yeah, they do. And I think also here's a key thing that I tell because I work with a lot of high achievers. They're the Energizer bunny. Batteries literally fall out, pop right back in. Boom, we're recharged.
Yeah.
They weren't even dying before. And so I think a lot of it goes into, there's so much talk about the hustle culture. We should stop and
Mhm.
end the hustle culture. And I never tell my clients coming in, like, I'm trying to stop you from being in that little bit of power masculine energy that you do enjoy sitting in.
Yeah.
But I'm also saying you don't have to live in that.
It's a
It
balance.
is a
Like
balance. Yes, that's what I was going to
everything
say.
is a balance. And you don't have to give one thing up for another, but here's the thing. And I'll go back to my story on this. I hustled so hard for so long that there was no way that I was going to find balance without swinging to the way other side.
Yeah,
I had to slow down so much and go at a snail's pace for quite some time before I was like, oh, I can meet somewhere in the middle here. If you don't know both ends, you can't find the middle.
I do agree with that.
So you have to experience the speed up and be in that heavy masculine energy of go, 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 go. But then you have to spend some time in that female energy of like stillness,
Yep. And that
doing
feminine,
nothing.
and that's another thing though, and I'm going to challenge this too because I don't
Go
think
for
it's
it.
doing nothing.
No,
I think
it's being.
it's
It's
giving,
being.
yeah, it's giving you permission to sit in your energy, sit in your essence.
Hmm.
And some people can't sit on their hands for 5 minutes. I was one of those people.
Yeah.
But like you said, going from one extreme to the other, I still experience the hustle. I enjoy the hustle. I enjoy being in that space of like, okay, I'm doing something. This is my productivity. Is
Yeah.
it still living in a trauma pattern? No, because I know my lines. I know when, hey, Mace, we're kind of teetering on the line right now. Like, let's take
Yeah.
a step back and let's rest. Let's say okay for today. And it's giving
And
yourself
that's a
permission.
boundary for you
Yeah.
to recognize, like, oh, if I push myself a little bit further here, I'm gonna have a hard time coming back to this because I'm gonna get sick. I'm gonna burn out. I'm going to be overwhelmed, like, and there is there is some truth to this, like, slow down to speed up, right? And you don't have to slow all the way down. You don't have to go to that extreme of literally doing nothing, right? You may have to occasionally, but not all the time.
Yeah.
But you do have to pull yourself back a little bit. And what that does is it gives you clarity. It allows you to see the situation from a macro perspective and be like, hey, we got to move in a different direction because
Yeah.
the direction that I was moving in was going to get me to that place and I need to be over there.
Yeah.
Like, you get to see the big picture in that sense. So you do speed up when you slow down for a few minutes.
Well, you give yourself that little bit of recharge. It's
Yeah.
not sleeping is not the only time that we're recharging.
Oh my God, no.
It's like I was talking to a client earlier. We were talking about time blocking. And that's one of my biggest things when a client comes to work with me. Like, number one, my hustle culture people, find your balance.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of people out there, oh, you're never going to have balance. You just have to do this. You have to make this happen. That's not
Balance
how it
is
works.
not what I've stopped using the word balance.
I love using the word balance
Be-
because I
Here,
challenge it.
right. Here's why though. When we say balance, most people think 50-50.
Yeah.
That's not true balance. I've started using the word harmony or harmonious, right?
Okay.
Because it describes a little bit better of like, you have to find your own harmony for the day, right?
Correct.
And sometimes that means hustle 80% and slow down 20. Other days, it's hustle 40, slow down 60.
Yeah.
And
So
like,
I think of it like weights and measures, the weights
yeah,
and balances.
yep,
And that's what it is. You're going to be up. You're not always going to stay like this. You're going to be up some days, down some days. And
yeah,
where do the buckets need to be? So it's like, it's no different than me grabbing this cup, filling it up with water and it's overflowing. I've got cups underneath. This is me. I'm filling up me first. Whatever's
yeah,
overflowing, these are the little cups around me. Maybe it's my kids, maybe it's my
yep,
partner, maybe it's work, maybe it's me of doing fun, creative things. But
yeah,
this is where I fill my cup first, my journal time, my quiet time, my hermit space. This is what I'm doing for me. These fun things, fishing, there's some days I don't want to go fishing. That doesn't belong in here. I could have woke up, filled my cup up, and I'm like, just don't feel like going today.
yeah,
I feel like sitting and doing nothing, and that is acceptable.
right.
But whatever I pour into myself is what I'm going to be pouring out to other people. If I've got nothing to pour into here, I have nothing to give to other people.
Yeah. The fill your cup first. You can't pour from an empty cup. Like I use that analogy all the time. If your cup is empty, how do you give to anybody else?
Yeah.
How? From what? And is that fair to you? No. but is it also fair to the people that you're trying to support and take care of? Because you're not giving 100% to them. You're giving like 2%,
All right.
and they deserve more too. So that's kind of, I talk to my people pleasers like that because they instantly are like, I must be giving 100% to everybody, right? Well, honey, you can't.
You can't.
You can't if you're not giving 110% to yourself.
That's right.
You
And
first.
you first. And it has to be that way. Now we show up, I do focus on showing up in those present moments.
Mm.
If my kid comes to me and it's mommy, 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 maybe I am on my phone and I'm like, hey, can you pause for 2 seconds? Let me finish this thought. Promise I'll
Mhm.
be right with you. And then I'm down on their level. What do you need?
Yeah.
How can I support you? And I think just being in that space where we understand where that energy and attention needs to be. Now I'm
Yeah.
not perfect. I mess up. There are
We all
moments
do.
I'm stuck here and I'm like, oh, well, I'm gonna change that later. I'm gonna do whatever. I'll come back and I gotta finish this first. And this finish first turns into 2 hours later. Oops.
Yeah.
Well, that wasn't the intention. Try
Yep.
again.
Right. And for people that, you know, aren't doing that, I bet if you're not working, but you find yourself lacking time, are you scrolling? Are
There's
you doom
hidden,
scrolling?
yeah, there's leaks, there's hidden leak, there's time leaks. That's
Right.
what I call it with my clients, time leaks.
Yeah, and that's one of the big things is doom scrolling and the nervous system. You're going to make your nervous system explode with that. Not necessarily because of the content, although it could be,
Yeah.
right? Um, but because your nervous system is already overwhelmed and you're giving it more information, you're giving it more stuff to like come
To
in.
process and
Yeah.
to get it is a stimulation no
Yeah.
matter what, because it's given the brain, even if it's not a dopamine fix, even if it goes into we're just feeding into, because what do they say in marketing? It takes the first 3 seconds. If you're not grabbing somebody's attention in the first 3 seconds, they scroll on.
Yep.
So Instagram, Facebook, they're putting out content, anything for the first 3 seconds to keep people on the platform. Next, next, next. And that's where the eyes are going.
Yep. Yeah. So, but then on the flip side of that too is like, don't sit here and tell me that you don't have time to meditate, that you don't have time to journal, that you don't have time to pray, whatever you're doing, right? Whatever we're talking about and doing and adding to like your daily life. When your phone time is at 7 hours for a day. Mm-mm. You better come to me with your phone time and it better be at like 30 minutes. Like,
Balance. Here's that keyword, balance. And just being able to support it in the way where you're filling your cup up.
yeah. And what one thing that I ask a lot of people, whatever they come to me with, is like, well, what's the cost of that? At what cost are you doing this? Right? And for doom scrolling, what cost is that? Well, you're procrastinating things that you need to do around the house, which are adding to your anxiety levels. You're not being part of your relationship because you're on your phone, so you have no intimacy or connection there. You're not being as efficient at work because you're thinking about scrolling when you're done writing this email, right? And you're getting distracted all the time. What is the cost of that? Now, if we look at the other side, what's the cost of meditating for 5 minutes every day, for 10 minutes every day? 5 or 10 minutes not scrolling? What's the benefit, the outcome for that? If you're doing 10 minutes of meditation and 10 minutes less of scrolling, maybe you may feel like you don't need to scroll as much. Maybe you're feeling like you have a little bit more control over your life. Maybe you're feeling like the thoughts in your head are becoming a little bit more organized and you can move forward in a more efficient way rather than continue with that chaos that
And
is in your brain.
I think the best question that you're asking there is that, what is this benefiting me?
Yeah.
Because that's me when I get caught up in scrolling, what is this benefiting? What is
Yeah.
this doing right now? What am I doing with this right now? And I catch myself, what are
Right.
you doing right now? I'm in freeze mode. is what I'm
Yep.
doing. We're going to put that down. We're going to go find something productive, go outside, go do whatever. Depends on what it
Seriously.
is.
Yeah, like if you find yourself in that position of like, oh, I'm procrastinating or like I'm stuck in freeze or I feel like I'm having whatever it is, honestly, go for a walk.
Yeah.
That's like one of my biggest tips. I tell every client that comes through my door, you should be walking more.
I think
Get outside.
most of our voice clips are done when you're walking.
Multitasking. No, I'm just kidding.
No, we do. We do
You,
because I do the same thing. I'll go outside. You'll hear it because you'll hear
I
the
know,
traffic in the
I
background and the birds, and you're like, "Oh, is it a lovely day?" It is.
know. Yes. Um, but yeah, like taking 5 minutes for a walk to just clear yourself out and then coming back. And I swear, I'll do that and I'll be like, oh, well, now I have a priority list and I know what I need to do next. Instead of like, I don't know where to go. There's so much to do, which has been a lot lately. Of like my to-do list is just getting longer and longer and longer. And I keep checking things off, but it's still getting longer. And I'm like, how do I, how do I do this?
How do I find my balance?
Yeah, right? Like if you're working with somebody who has not gone through it and doesn't still like come back to it and check themselves every now and then, I don't recommend it.
Yeah.
But if they seem like they're perfect, I also don't recommend that, right? Like, I'm not claiming to be the most perfect person in the world. I talk about the things that I talk about because I've had the experience on the other side and I've gotten myself out of it. And also, when I feel myself going back, I will be like, oh no, okay, how do I get out of this? I've done this before. I can do it again. Okay, shift focus. Let's go do this. Let's go for a walk. Let's dance around the room. Like, let's write out to whatever it is that I need to do. I get myself out of it much faster than I did when I went through a decade plus of burnout.
Yeah. So let me ask you this, with having that experience of going through the burnout, what are some of the things that you recognize and you're more aware of at the start? How do you teach your clients to build that awareness at the start?
Awareness of what? Of
Awareness of the pattern when they're falling back into those old habits or getting into that burnout space. What steps do y'all teach them through that awareness and getting out of that?
so a lot of it is mostly about awareness, right? Like you have to be aware of where your limits are. And in order to do that, you have to push past them probably quite a few times to figure it out, right? So if this is your limit and you're constantly zooming up here, you're gonna not find the limit. However, if you're zooming up here and then the next time you're like, oh, and you go up here, oh, okay, I pushed past it a little bit, but I feel a little bit better than last time. Eventually, you're going to come here, and this is where capacity is built with the nervous system, pushing yourself just past your limit where it's a little bit uncomfortable, but also like, oh, okay, I can do this. It's not super safe right now, but also I have the confidence to be here because you're not zooming past it. So it's
So
about
what
creating
does
those,
zooming past it look like? Give us some
like,
examples of symptoms.
yeah. So pushing through, forcing all of that stuff where you're, for instance, getting sick. You push, 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 push. You get sick, you get a cold. Okay, great. You take 3 days off, you come back, you push, 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 push. Another 3 to 6 months later, you're getting sick again. Another cold. Push, 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 push. All of a sudden, it's 4 months, you're getting a cold. Push, 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 push. And until like it's every couple of weeks, you're getting a cold, right? Or your digestion is off, or you're sleeping like crap all the time because you're constantly pushing yourself because, oh, well, I have things to do, so I'll go to bed at 11 instead of 9. Or, oh my God, I'm going to be up half the night because I've got this project to do. And you're up half the night for the next 3 weeks, like you're going to push yourself way farther. And that's what I mean. Like, you're constantly like, oh no, I'll go to bed at 1 o'clock and you end up here versus, oh no, I'm going to go to bed at 10 o'clock because I'm going to get some things done and you're here,
Yeah.
right? And then you come back in the morning and all of a sudden, oh, you have a much better perspective because you're not sleeping until 11 o'clock in the morning and, feeling like you lost half your day and you're feeling bad about that and you're feeling guilty and you are shaming yourself or judging yourself because of it. It's a snowball effect
Yeah.
in that
Yeah.
sense. Did that answer your question? I feel like I went
It
on a
did.
tangent
And it
there.
made me think of when I was living through burnout. And I remember season shift. Every time seasons would
Yeah.
shift, I would have to reshift my schedule. Like used to, it was 10 to 2, and that was burnout.
Yeah.
Now I'm at about 11 to 4. But I noticed when my 10 to 2 time block of what I was working wasn't working because I
Mm.
started skipping the gym more.
Yep.
I started, just, I just got to get this done. I can't even do
Yeah.
this. I would miss out on a lot of things. And I started noticing myself saying yes to too much more. I was
Yeah.
falling back into people pleasing habits. I was,
Yep.
oh, I got that for you. I could do that. Da, 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 da. And then I just got to a point, burnout was approaching again. Like this felt familiar. Like I don't feel
Yeah.
good. I'm tired. My body is rejecting anything and
Yeah.
everything that I'm doing. And when seasons have shifted, even in January, there was another shift that was happening in my business and it had exploded and it was taking away duties in the house.
Yeah.
Used to, I had an hour time frame that I was like, okay, I can vacuum the whole house every single day. Look at this
Yeah.
beautiful time window. That time got taken and
Mm.
replaced with something else because there was another priority.
Yeah.
So my expectations on myself was, I can't keep the house clean. What does the matter with me? And it was, maybe I don't have to do it every day.
Uh-huh.
Maybe I can do it every other or every 3 days, but make sure it's associated on the calendar. It's blocked
Mm.
off. It's not given to something else. Every, I believe every time goes somewhere. And I think through seasons, we're allowed to change that time. Nothing's set in stone.
Yeah.
If it's 30 minutes, if it's, an hour that you got to tweak and adjust. That's what I tell my clients. Like, look at your calendar, block it off. What are the times that you want to work? Because I work with a lot of business owners. So, what are the times that you desire to work? What are the times you want to be with your kids?
Mm.
What are the times that you want to be with yourself? What are the times you want to spend with your spouse? And block it off on the calendar. And whatever the white space is left, how are we filling that time? Because it's not going to be just this.
No.
And
No.
then when seasons change, we revisit. I created that
Yeah.
time blocking thing like I think it was back in 2018. And
Yeah. I was a
then
big fan of time blocking for a long time. I still am to an extent, but I was the one who used it as control tactics.
mm, I
So
got you.
I'm a little bit more flexible with them, but I still use like the time block in the morning from 5 to 9 a.m. That's me. Mm-mm. If you want that time, sorry, don't need me.
Yeah.
Right? Like my do not disturb on my phone between 8 p.m. and 9 a.m. If you need me, don't.
I'm not available.
Like that's the time where I sleep, I wind down, I wake up, I spend, time moving my body, getting outside, time with my husband. Like that's time for all of those things.
Yeah.
And if you need me, I may not be available
Yeah. Well,
for the
and I
majority of
set
the
my
day.
standards too, where in the morning I wake up, that's my journal time. And then
Yeah.
I'm getting ready for work or bringing the kids to school, whatever the case is. And then I go to the gym.
Yeah.
So about 8:15, 8:30, I'm at the gym. And until 9:30, 10 o'clock, then I've got another hour. I come back. This is my breakfast time if I'm fasting or if I ate sooner, and this is breakfast number two. Gotta have that post-workout. And then just getting ready, getting mentally ready before work at 11. We work from 11 to 4, get things done during that time frame. Then boom, we're with kids. It's
Yeah.
me and kids.
Yeah. I like that.
And there's freedom in that because
Yeah.
I'm not running around like, oh, I have to do this. I have to do that. I didn't do that. There's grace too.
Yes.
If I do need, hey, I need an extra hour today.
Yeah.
Like I didn't get this done. This is important to get done. Is it me making a big deal out of it, or is it me saying, no, this is actually necessary? And I have my clients do that too. where's your priority list? Because you might put
Mhm.
everything as a priority, but
Not everything is
if
a
I told you you
priority.
were only allowed to do four things today, which four are you picking?
Yeah.
That's a priority.
Yeah. Not everything, not everything can be a priority. And in fact, not everything is, right? Like I used to think that, and this comes from like growing up, like watching my mom clean the house every Sunday, right? I thought the whole entire house had to be cleaned every Sunday. That was the only time that you could do it. And it had to be the whole house or like it was wrong,
Yeah.
right? No, no. Like I found so many rules that I've made up in my head about how I can do things or how I need to do things or how I prioritize or what life looks like that I have now looked at them and been like, who said that?
Yeah. Who
Why
came up with
can't
that rule?
I?
My mom's a Virgo and she's also with a Leo moon and Leo rising, mind you. So the whole house is clean and spotless by the time we go to bed
Uh-huh.
and no dishes in the sink.
Uh-huh.
Girl, when I got married, moved out in my own house, I was like, dishes are in the sink and they will
Yep.
still be there in the morning to be
Mhm.
taken care of. It was, and you're right in those expectations. I don't put those expectations on myself because to
Yeah.
me, for me, they're not realistic.
Same.
They're
I
realistic
don't
for
want to
her.
spend my Sundays like my
Yeah.
mom did.
Yeah. I love my freedom.
Yeah.
And I tell myself it is okay if the dishes are in the sink tonight.
Yeah. It's okay. Like, so one of the weird rules that I had, was I couldn't walk while drinking my tea. Like I'm a tea girl. I will wake up in the wintertime and I will have my warm cup of tea. I will take it outside on the balcony and watch the sunrise. It's beautiful. I love that time. But tell me why I had such resistance to being like, oh, I need to compact my time because something came up. It's a priority, right? And so I want to drink my tea outside, but I also want to go for a walk. Why can't I combine the two?
Yeah.
Like that was a weird one that I was like, who told me that?
Yeah.
Why did I make that rule up in my head? So I went for a walk with my tea, and it was great. I loved it.
So, how has these deconstructions
Mm.
helped you in healing your nervous system?
Because I have all of these like rules, right? And I've started to like become aware of them and it's kind of my rebellion phase, right? Of doing the complete opposite of this rule, right? Um, it allows for more spaciousness within the nervous system in the sense of like, well, that's not inherently wrong. Like, it's life's not that big of a deal.
Yeah.
Life doesn't have to be so serious, right? And there are times where it should be, right? Absolutely. There are times when life should be really serious and you need to take things seriously. But ultimately, at the end of the day, what does it matter if I sit on my deck with my tea or if I go for a walk with my tea? It doesn't. But I can think, well, what's my energy level today?
Yeah.
Well, it's kind of low. Maybe I'll just sit down. I'll enjoy the stillness. Or like, no, I'm pretty upbeat. Like, I need to move. I feel like if I'm going to sit down, I'm not going to be able to sit still. I'm going to be fidgeting and like, so go for a walk. It's allowing the spaciousness to make a decision without those unnecessary, like weird made up rules that either were taught to us or we just decided one day were a thing, you know?
Yeah.
And that creates in life in general, in the more serious parts of life, for me to be a little bit more flexible, right? And it makes you think too. If you take a step back and you're like, oh, well, somebody lived their life that way. So the cleaning. My mom, still to this day, Sunday is meant for going grocery shopping, coming back and cleaning the whole entire house. To this day.
That's her
Oh, my
routine.
mom. Yeah, it is. She's great with her routine. That's how my mom chose to live her life.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean I have to choose that. I can choose differently. I can choose to clean one floor on the weekend. I have 3 floors in my house.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah, it's not that much space, but also it's like, it's a lot.
Okay.
So I can clean one floor of my house and then I can leave the rest of it to do during the week, right? Like I can do whatever I have time to do. And I don't punish myself anymore for not doing what I think I should be doing.
I think that's a huge key piece. The
Yeah.
guilt, the punishment, the blame, the judgment, all the things that we do to ourselves
Yeah.
because this is what we were taught.
Right. Yeah, my mind nowadays doesn't continually tell me that I'm a lazy piece of shit for not being able to clean my house or do my laundry or prep my meals or whatever it is, right? And also in that sense too, I've made my life very simple. I have brought a lot of simplicity into my life. So I actually don't meal prep very much because my meals are so simple, they don't take more than 10 minutes to make.
Yeah.
For lunches, I make enough dinner for a day of leftovers for lunch. So I don't have to prep my lunches. I just have leftovers.
Yeah. That's what we
Right?
teach our
Like,
clients too, is finding balance in like what works for you and your family.
yeah,
Because most of our clients, they're moms, So
yeah,
they've got multiple kids. We've got so many activities to do. And I think like that's another key thing, just like you're saying, simple. Our philosophy is simple, easy, and fun. It's not
yeah,
always going to be fun, but if you can find the fun moments and find the joy moments, it's going to make it a lot easier and a lot simpler that you're going to want to stick to it longer. And
yeah,
that's a key piece in that lasting transformation, the results that stick. It has to be something that's simple, doable, works best for you. It's why we go through all the pieces, time blocking. It's
yeah,
important. Do
yeah,
it. Here's the simplest way that we can do it.
exactly. And coming back to simplicity really helps with keeping your mindset simple, keeping your routine simple, keeping the way that you move your body simple. Like, yes, everybody's going to be different. I know I move my body in like 5 different ways because I like the versatility, and your body also likes different things.
Mhm.
But I don't overanalyze it anymore.
Yeah.
Like, okay, I want to lift weights. Great. I'm going to do that today. Actually, I'm feeling unbelievably sore. Maybe I shouldn't. That's going to be a really crappy workout if I do that, you know? Like, I think yoga is the way to go today, or maybe some mobility work, right? Like, shifting focus and keeping it simple in that way, where you have the things that you do, the core aspects of that part of your life that you can then adjust based on energy level, how you feel, and yeah, all the other things.
Yeah. And listening to your body.
Listening, yeah, it's one of the most important pieces that we tend to work on. It's also one of the hardest things to do, honestly, is take yourself out of the situation and tune into what you're feeling, right? We're not taught how to do that.
Right. Right.
But it's something that like nobody else can do for you. But I can sit here and be like, okay, well, what do you feel? What's happening in your body? Oh, well, it's stressed. How? What's happening in your body? Oh, I don't know. I feel stressed. Okay, great. Where?
Yeah.
How do you know that you feel stressed, right?
Right. Yeah.
Like, what is,
Find it in the body.
we aren't taught to come down to that level and to break it down in that way. But even in the sense of emotions, right? Oh, like, how does that make you feel? I don't know, I guess sad. What does sad feel like to you? Do you
Hmm.
have does it come up in your body in a specific way? Do you feel it in a certain way? Like, what's happening within your body? That's how you start to get aware and in tune with it so that you can start listening to it. Because your body is always sending you messages. Your
Uh-huh.
body is so smart, And the messages are the symptoms, are the things that you're feeling that are making you feel like something's off, something's wrong. But it's also telling you what's going right. You're just not listening.
Yep. Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, real quick before we go, you have
Yeah,
a workbook. Tell us
I
about the
do.
workbook. We're gonna,
Yeah.
yeah, we're gonna tell everybody about your workbook. Y'all need to get this workbook, by the way.
Yes. So this is kind of an introduction to finding peace and calm within your life and starting to regulate your nervous system. So it's free. It's amazing. Maisie will put it into the little description. I'll give her that link. Um, and in this workbook, you actually get a practice to start doing. And if you do that regularly, you're going to start seeing things shift. So that's step one is to get into that workbook and actually get in and do it, right? We
Don't get in and open it and then
yeah,
never do it. And the
yes,
reason, and look, y'all, the reason that she built this workbook for people like us who are in that, we stay in that high active stress space and can't always put a name to it, can't always figure out how our nervous system is always respond because it's just responding to the environment in which it's living in.
yeah,
But if you can put a name to it and you can get into the way of getting into that awareness space, just like we've been talking about here, really getting into your body, you have an outlet. There's a way to change the outcome. And that's what Courtney and her business partner have developed inside this workbook to be able to support you guys with. So
yeah,
it's the first
yeah.
step.
It's the first step. And it will, like I said, it will get you to a certain level if you do it consistently. And if you need help, I will give Maisie all the links to um, for how to reach out, different places that you can go to get that help. Because we have a community of people who are also going through nervous system dysregulation and trying to heal that. You are not alone. This is a very common thing.
Yeah.
So we have a community of people that are doing that, where we do live trainings and connect with each other and all of those things. So there's a
And
couple
all
different avenues.
Yeah, and the reason that I brought Courtney into this, you guys, is because just like you hear me preach, it's all about real-time regulation. It is
Hmm.
not the when the moments happen or what to do outside of those time frames. Oh, this is a great routine. Yes, they talk a lot about routine, but the number one thing that I love the most about what they do and how they support their clients is through real time regulation. How do I do this in the moment? So I'm not relying on somebody else. I'm not going over here getting a couple of hours, just like we talked about in the beginning, a couple of hours of ease and freedom, and I'm feeling good, and then boom, right back in. Every
Yeah.
time something happens and triggers a nervous system. When you can empower yourself to heal your body from the inside out just simply through regulation, it changes the game for a lifetime.
Yeah. And it's not, you're always going to feel stress.
Yeah.
Not like literally constantly, but like stress is always going to be there.
It's a response that's
Yeah.
telling, it's a signal that's telling you, hey, we need to change.
Yeah. It's not about making the stress in your life smaller. It's
Yeah.
about making the capacity to hold the stress bigger. So we talk a lot about building your toolbox, giving you tools in order to help you figure out what to do in the moment, maintain along the way. Because guess what? You can have five different tools in your toolbox and you can decide to only utilize them when you need them. But, but, is that actually helpful? And the answer is no. We need to do this consistently. Doing these things like meditation, for example, when you don't need it, when you're not in this high stress, overwhelmed state, and doing it when you're actually feeling good is actually going to help you to feel better when things
Mhm.
get tough.
Yes, it is. Yep.
So it's not just about that, like in the moment, it's also creating that routine of like, well, I know that this is going to work for me because I know how it affects me,
Mhm.
right? And knowing that, like, okay, well, when I feel anxiety, I can't meditate. That's not going to work for me. But you know what I can do is I can go out for a walk and that's going to
Yep.
help me. Or I can shut down my phone for an hour and that's going to help me. Or, when I'm angry, meditation is also not going to help me. Going for a walk is not going to help me. I'm just going to ruminate there. But a kickboxing class could work.
Yeah.
Like there's different situations that call for different tools. So we also help with that piece and figuring out, well, what tool works for you when? And in the moment, you may have to try one tool, chuck it aside, and try a different one after that. And
Yeah.
be flexible and okay with doing that as well.
Awesome. Awesome. All right. Thank you so much for your time today.
Thank you for having me again. I'm so happy to be
Absolutely.
back.
Yes. And as always, we will catch you guys on the flip side.